This is Daily Armenia, ＳivilNeT's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. Armenia and Turkey's special envoys for normalization, Ruben and Serdar Kilic, held a historic meeting in Yerevan on Friday, the Armenian foreign ministry reported. Kilic arrived in Armenia by land through a checkpoint on the closed border between the countries, marking the first time a Turkish official visited Armenia since 2008. The envoys pledged to advance the process of full normalization of relations between Armenia and Turkey. They exchanged views on implementing an agreement from 2022 to open the shared border for third country nationals. The sides decided that relevant authorities should conduct technical studies on restoring a railway connection between the countries, as well as power transmission lines. They also agreed to promote cooperation in cultural and academic fields, including new university scholarship opportunities and a joint restoration project for the historic Ani Silk Road Bridge. Another decision concerned expanding air connectivity. Starting from summer 2026, additional carriers from both countries will be allowed to operate flights on various routes, increasing the number of air links. Armenia and Turkey have had no diplomatic relations since Armenia's independence in 1991, and the border has remained closed since 1993, when Turkey shut it in support of Azerbaijan during the Karabakh conflict. Ankara has also long opposed Armenia's efforts for international recognition of the Armenian genocide. The two countries appointed envoys in December 2021 to explore normalization. Deputy Parliamentary Speaker Ruben for Armenia and Kilic, a veteran diplomat and former Turkish ambassador to the US for Turkey. Yesterday marked the first time Kilic arrived in Yerevan, with previous meetings held at the border or elsewhere. Although plans to reopen the long-shuttered border were announced over 3 years ago, the issue never moved beyond talks. Armenia's military should not be the country's primary guarantor of security, Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan said during a security conference in Yerevan today. If the military is our number one tool for ensuring security, it means we have no security, he said. The army should be the last instrument of security. If we want the army to defend us, we must first protect the soldiers. Before the army, we must have hundreds of layers of security. Pashinyan also said that his cabinet's policies have allowed Armenia to shift away from relying exclusively on Russian arms supplies toward procuring weapons and equipment from other countries. No country has reason to fear that this weaponry could be used for illegitimate purposes. No one can dispute our right to defend Armenia's internationally recognized territory. As for debates over efforts to restore historical justice, it is unclear what historical justice is, or where it begins and ends, he said, likely referring to opinions that Armenia should seek to take back Karabakh. Pashinyan also added that Armenia's past reliance on the Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organization has proved ineffective. Our history has come to prove that this formula did not work, he said. Yerevan suspended its membership last year following the bloc's repeated failures to address Azerbaijan's incursions into Armenia's internationally recognized territory, part of the border crisis between the two countries that has developed since 2021. Though Armenia has not formally exited the bloc, it takes no part in joint exercises and no longer pays membership fees. According to Pashinyan, the military's role is to ensure the protection of Armenia's internationally recognized borders. Armenia's troops do not belong anywhere outside the country's borders, he concluded. An Armenian man identified as Karen Avanesyan was arrested in Karabakh's capital Stepanakert yesterday after allegedly attempting to stage an armed attack during an official event attended by President Ilham Aliyev, according to Azerbaijani police. The Azeri authorities have claimed that Avanesyan tried to approach the venue of the gathering, carrying a Kalashnikov rifle and 5 hand grenades that he had earlier hidden in a dead drop, intending to carry out a mass shooting. According to the country's interior ministry, he resisted arrest and was wounded by return fire before being detained. One police officer was also injured in the shootout, Azerbaijani police reported. It remains unclear what charges Avanesyan faces. The announcement quickly drew skepticism in Armenia, where many commentators suggested that the account could have been fabricated. However, Azerbaijani outlets published what they said was his full government name and birth year. An Azeri TV news report from March 2024 also featured a middle-aged man introduced as Karen Avanis, who told reporters in Azerbaijani that he was an Azerbaijani national and had never held Armenian citizenship. Former Stepanakert residents suggested that the man may have mental health issues. Azerbaijani media have also released a CCTV video showing a man resembling the one in the 2024 report, walking down deserted streets of Stepanakert shortly before the incident. Though the poor quality of the footage makes it impossible to confirm the identification, the clip does not show the alleged shooting attempt or his apprehension. While just over 100,000 Armenians fled Nagorno-Karabakh in September 2023, following Azerbaijan's 9-month blockade and a one-day military offensive, only a handful remained behind. Various reports suggested that between 10 and 20, mostly elderly Armenians, stayed in the region. At least one woman has since died, with her body later handed over to Armenia by Azerbaijani authorities. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.